we're making a difference. The Silvers have been key architects of the venture philanthropy funding strategy. This has enabled them to accelerate scientific breakthroughs, move treatments toward the clinic, and ultimately help find a cure for Epidermolysis Bullosa. Alex, not bad. Alex and Jamie, we are so honored to present you for this award tonight.
It was.
Good evening, and thank you for this great honor that recognizes our work in partnership with the University of Minnesota. The concept of partnership is key to everything we seek to achieve at the EB Research Partnership, and we have no better partner than the University of Minnesota. The EB Research Partnership, which Jamie and I co-founded in 2010, is the largest nonprofit dedicated to funding research aimed at treating and curing Epidermolysis Bullosa. In 2014, we raised over $2 million and have helped in procuring we've helped in procuring an additional $40 million in EB research funding. This is my biggest fan, it's table 36 over here. Thank you. Like many people who dedicate their time to curing a rare disease, Jamie and I are personally touched by EB. Our 7-year-old son, Jackson, was born with a severe form. For those of you new to EB, it is a debilitating and deadly genetic skin condition that causes blisters and wounds all over the body, inside and out. EB is excruciatingly painful. Imagine the pain you feel when you walk around in a new pair of shoes and get raw blisters all over your feet. Now imagine that feeling all over your body. For a child with EB, even the simplest of everyday activities, an accidental trip on the playground, eating a piece of candy, can rip the skin off the body and leave wounds that never heal. A young man with EB said this to me: "My body feels like it is always on fire. The pain is constant. It never, ever goes away." This is what our son Jackson and the thousands of others like him who have EB endure every day. But there are reasons to be optimistic and obstacles to overcome. We can make a cure a reality, and we are so proud to be working with the University of Minnesota to do so. Preeminent research is taking place in the United States, and the most extraordinary researcher is a member of this community, the University of Minnesota. Yes. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge him. Dr. Jakub Tolar, who is at table 36, the rowdy one, is a pioneer in stem cell and gene therapies. We have proudly funded nearly $1 million of his research and will continue to do so until children with EB can live pain-free lives. Dr. Tolar possesses a rare combination of skills. He's a genius, he's deeply empathetic, and he is a ferocious perfectionist. These are skills that I personally like when this person is trying to help cure my child. All of the families that have EB who have come to the Children's Hospital have the same thing to say. Dr. Tolar treats their children with the love and respect as if they were his own. The goal of Dr. Tolar's work is to treat and cure EB as safely as possible. As I have seen firsthand, reaching this goal is attainable if we have the right resources. And reaching this goal will not only help children with EB, but also Dr. Tolar's gene editing work could potentially help those who suffer from the nearly 5,400 incurable genetic conditions. Dr. Tolar is a rock star and a true partner in this journey to heal EB. Thank you, Dr. Tolar. And Dr. Tolar is not the only one President Eric and Karen Keller have been all in since they first learned about EB. Without their commitment to Dr. Tolar and our work, none of this would be possible. I am proud to count President Keller as a friend and a collaborator in healing EB. As many of you know, especially those in this audience, the federal backdrop for funding of medical research has not recovered since the financial downturn. I serve on the National Institute of Health Advisory Council. Approximately 25% of grants 10 years ago could get funding at the NIH. That number is below 15% now. Contrast that to the 7,000 rare diseases, of which 6,900 are incurable, that affect 10% of Americans, 32 million people. The only way to help those suffering from ED or any other rare condition is to change the model. Individual and corporate philanthropy must play a much larger role as public funding recedes. Furthermore, nonprofits like EB Research Partnership need to invest more strategically, honing in on research that is intended for commercialization, like that of Dr. Tolar's work. We need to ensure that nonprofits like EB Research Partnership participate in the commercial success of the projects we fund. At our foundation, we call this a venture philanthropy model. My background, my career has been spent in principal investing, including venture capital, private equities, and public markets investing. If you look at how a for-profit business is created, early-stage investors, which are known as angel investors, invest funds to prove out a business model or concept. In return for capital, and this is really important, in return for capital and reducing the risk of that investment, these angel investors maintain a meaningful financial interest in their company. Now, why am I saying this? Because when you look at the venture philanthropy model that we have put in place at the EB Research Partnership, in return for funding early-stage translational research, the EB Research Partnership participates in the commercial value generated from any project that we fund, and any proceeds that we would receive as a foundation are reinvested into funding more research. When I first spoke with President Keller about this topic, I found a kindred spirit. Together, we created the first venture philanthropy agreement of the EB Research Partnership. Since then, other universities have raced to copy the Minnesota model. The Minnesota model which President Keller helped create. We have been able to raise more funds with this agreement in place. Our incentives are properly aligned, and most importantly, the children with EB get the benefit of faster work. Without President Keller's leadership, none of this would have been possible. The harsh reality is that a child with EB has a life expectancy of 50% of yours or mine, at most. 50%. Countering that, together we are driving forward research at a rate that it needs to benefit the generation that is living today, Jackson's generation. And I want to take one moment to recognize the young man who's actually here tonight. His name's Charlie Knuth. He's at table 2. Hey, Charlie! Charlie, who's right over there, underwent a bone marrow transplant and has a severe form of EB, under the care of Dr. Tolar and Dr. Wagner. And he is one of the most amazing young men you will meet. And if you want to meet a brave child or a brave person, stop by table 2. Hey, Charlie. In closing, with partners like Dr. Tolar, President Keller, the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital, and your continued generous support, the children living with EB today have the best possible chance of living better lives than they've had since EB research started in earnest 50 years ago. Now that's something to drink towards, or drink for. Thank you very much. We really appreciate this honor. Have a wonderful evening, and